Hello, this is Laura talking to you live today on Raw Beauty. And what I'm here to talk about today is my raw plant-based diet and how to incorporate a raw plant-based diet. Even if you don't eat all raw, you can incorporate a lot more raw vegetables and fruit in your diet. I want to start off by saying that I am not a doctor. I have learned these things through trial and error and a lot of reading and research through the years. And what I found was eating a raw plant-based diet was the best thing for me and the best thing that I had done for my health. First of all, I suffered from a lot of different small conditions. Nothing that was real chronic. I never had cancer, diabetes, or lupus, or anything like that. Never had arthritis, never aches and pains or anything. But what I had dealt with a lot was chronic fatigue syndrome. I had bleeding gums, which can lead to heart disease, which runs in my family, which is one of the main reasons why I have always been interested in health and have always had a strong passion for wanting to do things holistically. And I've tried a lot of different diets and nothing ever really worked until I went on a raw plant-based diet. But I also had chronic urinary tract infections, and that led me to having to take antibiotics. And all those antibiotics that I took through the years really messed with my gut tract. And when you have a bad gut tract, you have a lot of problems. And I think a lot of people are suffering from a bad gut tract. And I would like to talk about a lot of that. I did a lot of research on that because of my issues, and anything that I had issues with is why I researched it. But I'm interested in a lot of things with health. I am interested in also things that have to do with your hair and the skin, and I have studied a lot of those things, and I had a lot of trouble with growing hair. I had hair that only went down to my shoulders, and when I went on a raw plant-based diet and started incorporating some of these different things in my diet, I found that my hair was growing like crazy. So, and also getting rid of a lot of things in my diet. I strongly think that people need to get rid of things in their diet, not just worry about eating salads and doing all of these things that are good for your body, but getting rid of the processed foods. And I mean, I know there's some people that may still like to eat some meats and things, or they may not want to go completely raw, but you can eat some meat if you have to, and very little, and incorporate a lot more plant-based, and little by little maybe you'll decide that you don't want it after a while. But it's one day at a time. This is something that I have such a strong passion about because of the things that I suffered with that kept me from doing things in my life that I really wanted to do, especially having chronic headaches and sinus issues all the time, and getting rid of dairy, getting rid of bread, getting rid of pastas, cereals. All those things is what really helped me to get rid of a lot of these things that I was dealing with that were causing my problems. So getting rid of the problems is a definite big part of starting on a raw plant-based diet. And if I were to give some advice, I would say that to somebody that was really far away from thinking they could ever do just a completely raw plant-based diet, is to just start taking one thing at a time and eliminate one thing out of your diet that you know isn't good, and putting one good thing in your diet, like maybe add kale to your diet. and start eating just a lot more kale and none of this other thing that isn't good for you. It's real simple to start if you start with small little things at a time and work your way into a plant-based raw lifestyle, or at least 70% raw, even half and half. We cook our foods too much. Cooking, it's unnecessary to cook all of our foods. There might be some foods that some people may feel are important to cook, and they may not ever go to a completely raw plant-based, but you can add a lot more raw to your diet one day at a time. And I'm just going to close with that. I have a lot of things that I want to talk about, but for today, I will close out with that, and I hope I helped somebody. God bless. Peace out.